In this video, we're going to talk about some of the things we like about the Shark NV801, and that's this upright unit here. Now, the full name for the NV801 is the Shark Rotator Powered Liftaway Speed with Duo Clean technology. Also, another tip is the 801 is the same machine as the 803. You get the same upright unit and you get the same tool set. Now, we actually put this question to Shark, and they told us that the difference in the model numbers is really a function of the retail outlet. So the 803 and the 801 are the same. It just depends where you bought it. Now, one of the first things we like about this vacuum is the tool set. You get 4 tools with it, and they work fairly well. We start here with the PET multi-tool. This is actually a 2-in-1 tool. The main brush comes off and you get an upholstery tool, which is good for removing pet hair and debris and stuff from upholstery. And if you put the brush head back on, you get a generic brush. Another 2-in-1 tool, it's a combination crevice tool. You can move the brush head forward on this. Okay, there we are. And then it's basically it clicks into place. It's a brush tool. We've got also a PET power tool. And you can see here we've been using this. This is a turbo tool, so it's not motorized, but it has a brush roll that's spun by suction, which is good for picking up pet hair. Then you've got this rather odd looking device here, the under appliance wand, and as you can see it's designed to put the vacuum handle in here, and it slides underneath appliances like a fridge or a stove, and it's got a suction channel here, and it actually works fairly well. It can also be extended out, I think, here we go, out to like a full 36 inches, so you get a tremendous reach from this thing. So we're pretty pleased with the tool set, and Shark also provides an accessory bag because not all the tools will fit onto the vacuum cleaner. We also like that the machine maneuvers quite easily. The nozzle head is fairly narrow, and that allows it to get into tight areas. As you can see, also just a twist of the wrist and it steers very easily. The nozzle head itself is also fairly low profile, so that will allow you to get under lower furniture. Of course, you'll run into this, but it gives you a certain distance to get under low furniture. And the vacuum itself is compact and not too heavy. Now, we mentioned that the NV801 is not too heavy and it's a fairly compact machine. Now you can see to the right of it here we've got the NV752, and indeed this is a larger machine and the 801 is more compact. Actually, 801 is pretty much exactly the same size here as the NV682. Now, in terms of weight, the NV752 here weighs 15.6 pounds. The NV801 is at 14.5 pounds. And the 682 is only 13.2 pounds. So it's somewhere between the two, and it's still not too heavy at 14.5 pounds. Now, this vacuum has something called Duo Clean technology. And what that means is it's got 2 brush rolls. You've got a very soft, velvety kind of brush roll here, and your typical stiff bristled brush roll here. They're both motorized, running off the same motor, and the vacuum has them spinning at all times, even on hard floors. There's controls on the handle, and what they do is actually adjust the speed with which these things spin. So on hard floors, they're spinning very slow. On low or even thicker pile carpet, you can increase the speed. Our first reaction was, well, maybe this is a little gimmicky, but we've run this thing through a number of tests, and the performance is really good. This enables you to pick up much larger debris on carpet. It doesn't get stuck under the front. It also, on bare surfaces, helps to remove stuck-on dust and things like that. So, we've got a very descriptive review of this on our website, and we've run some tests, and we're going to cut a few videos in here so you can see its performance on both bare floors and carpet. Now we're going to test the vacuum on a hard surface, and this is tile. we've got a pretty significant debris field here. You know, you've got fine powder, you've got lentils, you've got larger Fruit Loops and beans, we've got dust bunnies and some pet hair. It's a fairly extensive debris field, and we've made sure we've got a lot of this dust right into the cracks between the tiles. So let's see how the machine performs. And we'll have it on bare floor mode, which means the brush rolls are turning slowly. Well, it did a great job. There's nothing here in the cracks, everything. So there was no scatter as well. Sometimes when you got a brush roll spinning on a hard surface, you'll get scatter. It looks really good. Now we're going to test the NV801 on what is a low pile carpet. We have a debris field here of larger debris like Fruit Loops. We've got fine dust. We've got dust bunnies. We've got pet hair and some lentils. So quite the running the gamut from a very fine particle to a larger particle. We've also got the NV682 here just for comparison purposes. So let's see how the vacuums perform. First, we're going to run the 682. Okay, no worries there, picking up everything, although on the backstroke, this often happens, this stuff gets pulled back when you pull the vacuum back, has a hard time getting underneath the nozzle. Not too bad. Now let's look at the 801. Interesting. Pulled up everything and absolutely nothing on the backstroke. There's nothing left over at all. It's completely clear. Very good job. In this test, we're going to test how well the vacuum cleans up tight against an edge. And over here, it actually, you can see it on the right side of the nozzle, it says edge cleaning. And that means if you run this side up against the edge, it'll clean better. And the reason for that is, if we look underneath at the nozzle here, you can actually see that the gap on this side between the nozzle and the edge of the vacuum is much smaller than the gap over here. So this is the side you want to run up against a wall, for example, to get better edge cleaning. So let's see how well that performs here. Okay, yeah, pretty much everything. I've seen, got one little piece left. Did a pretty good job, up quite tight against the baseboards here. Another thing we like about the vacuum is the easy filter maintenance and the easy brush roll maintenance. Now, the machine has two pre-motor filters, and to access those, you remove the dust canister. We have a foam filter, which is rinsable in water. And we have a felt filter, which is also rinsable in water. There's some instructions labeled right there conveniently, and let's just read those to you. Get rid of my glasses. It says, clean filter every 3 months or loss of suction may occur. Rinse and let air dry completely. Also tap loose dirt off filter between washes as needed. So, handy. And you can just put the dust canister back on. Now you've got a post-motor filter, which is the HEPA filter in the machine. It's underneath this here. There's a little clip. And there's your HEPA filter. Now this guy is also rinsable in water, which is great. You don't have to run out and buy a new one. Well, Shark documentation says you need to clean it maybe once a year. It goes back on fairly easy. Now, Brush rolls often need to be cleaned, especially if you've got a lot of tangled hair in them, and that can be a pain. Like with a lot of vacuums, you may have to, upend the vacuum cleaner. Maybe you're digging in here to pull stuff out, and worst case scenario, you may have to take a base plate off to get better access to the brush roll. Now, this guy's got 2 brush rolls, so you might think it's worse, but they've done a really nice job of making these accessible for maintenance. Now on the side, there's a button here, and it says eject roller. Now that's for the front roll. Thing just pops off, just like that, easy to clean. Now there's a little tab on the end that says front, so when you're putting it back in, you can slide this in. Make sure that front piece is forward, and it just clips right back in. Extremely easy. Now the main brush roll, there's a couple of tabs here. If you click those down, it's like, I think they call it the brush roll garage or some such thing, and the top comes out. Now, this brush roll is very accessible now, and there's actually got a pull tab on it. You can take the thing right out. Extremely easy. There's even a groove in it here if you want to run a pair of scissors down, and I believe they even put a little tool back here, which can be, there we are, a little tool with a hook on it, which you could run through that groove and, for example, pull all the hair out. So it's kind of convenient, handy. Now getting this back in also was fairly straightforward. Similarly, we put this end in here, make sure the pull tab's pointed up. It's in, it's mounted. Put this back in, click it down, and you're done. So fairly easy brush roll maintenance, and also easy maintenance of the filters. Another popular feature on this machine is the lift away mode, and that's something you find on a lot of Shark machines today, and the reason for that is it is popular. Now it's fairly straightforward. They actually have a lift away button here, so if you click on that, this canister assembly comes off, and that's the lift away piece. You can hold that, and of course you can move the vacuum around as you please. In addition, you can release the wand from the floor tool there and put on a different tool, any of the tools actually. Here we've got the pet power tool. You could use that for doing a set of stairs, for example, or you can remove the wand and put that tool right on the end of the handle. So maybe you want to do some upholstery, get rid of some pet hair, things like that. Just a really handy feature. And putting it all back together is also fairly quick and fairly easy. Let's see. Here we go there. Put the cleaner head back on. It's in place. And that's it, and you're back into upright mode. Now there's a few other things we like about this vacuum cleaner. One are the LED headlights. Now they're designed to last the lifetime of the vacuum. They turn on when you're using the machine in upright mode. And if you're using tools, so you take the handle and wand assembly out and hose, you will find the lights turn off because you're not using the cleaner head, which is also intelligent. So we'll just turn this on. You can see the headlights stay on when you're vacuuming. You want to use the wand, maybe with some tools or anything. See the lights turn off. It's fairly intelligent. Nice feature to have, especially good if you're vacuuming in a dimly lit area or something like that. We also like that we have here a 30-foot power cord, and that's nice. Even though the vacuum is fairly compact, 30 feet is good. Anything less, and we often start to see owners complaining. And we also have a 7-year limited warranty on the NV801. And that's pretty good for a machine at this price point. We usually see this retail for $300 to maybe $330. So those are some of the things we really love about the Shark NV801. There are some things about the machine that we do dislike, and you may want to check out our video entitled Things We Dislike about the Shark NV801. Thanks very much for watching. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the things we like about the Shark NV801, and that's this upright unit here. Now, the full name for the NV801 is the Shark Rotator Powered Lift-Away Speed with Duo Clean technology. Also, another tip is the 801 is the same machine as the 803. You get the same upright unit and you get the same tool set. Now, we actually put this question to Shark, and they told us that the difference in the model numbers is really a function of the retail outlet. So the 803 and the 801 are the same, it just depends where you bought it. Now, one of the first things we like about this vacuum is the tool set. You get 4 tools with it, and they work fairly well. We start here with the PET multi-tool. This is actually a 2-in-1 tool. The main brush comes off and you get an upholstery tool, which is good for removing pet hair and debris and stuff from upholstery. And if you put the brush head back on, you get a generic brush. Another 2-in-1 tool, it's a combination crevice tool. You can move the brush head forward on this. Okay, there we are. And then it's basically it clicks into place, it's a brush tool. We've got also a PET power tool. You can see here we've been using this.